Deca Show. Thank you for becoming a patron. You are what keeps the dream alive. Alright, let's get into it. Hey everybody, DreamHack back at it again with another video. We are at the Anaheim convention because apparently there's going to be a DreamHack event. I am not entirely sure if this is supposed to be non-NDA, but we'll figure that out soon enough when I talk to the developers. We're here to try and get some footage of Ready or Not. So let's try and go. You guys are devs?
Hey, there you go.
How's it going?
Yeah, good.
I've been following your game for a very long time now. So, I don't know, do you want to see people or?
I can answer your questions, but you probably prefer not to be recorded. Like, after you get recording the game though, this isn't on NDA. No, this isn't on NDA though, so you can record this and put it on YouTube.
Yeah, that's actually.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I talked to your guys already. I was like.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah,
nice. Hey, you got any questions? I'm happy to answer. You can record this. Like, here, let's stand here so you can record it. It's fine.
Yeah. What do you guys want for questions?
I'll answer a couple questions. No worries.
You want to see the gameplay?
Yeah, so this is a build of Ready or Not we've been working on for a while. It's running along parallel to the Supporter Edition Alpha. And we'll be giving this to the supporters in the next coming couple of weeks as it's a really well polished PvP mode on the latest version of the engine. So we haven't moved main into the newest version of Unreal Engine yet, but this is what it's going to look like. So it runs a lot smoother. Like, this is running really well. We haven't seen many frame dips. I think these two PCs here, they're running 2070s and they're getting it's about 130 FPS, something like that. Although with this TV feed, it doesn't help. It actually ends up slowing. It has to catch up and shit. But it's been going really well.
Yeah, I can tell. I mean, the PC build definitely is different from what I've seen. I mean, I've seen this map before, but I haven't seen Tug of War on it. So I was like, oh, so it is a different version.
Cool. Yeah. Cool. It's I think this map's gone through a few revisions. The latest update we had actually ended up fixing it a little bit. So we went through some performance updates, some visual changes, and I mean, it continues to be worked on. But for this build, for DreamHack, it's been going really, really well. Like, we've all been quite happy with the response that we've gotten recently.
What about the AI animations? How are they coming?
Really, really nicely. Yeah, we're hoping to push out a new build with the AI animations in probably a good month or so. Definitely before beta. We want to get this to the supporters.
Do you mind if we switch sides?
Do whatever you want. It's fine. Yeah, man. As long as you guys are having fun. AI animations have been coming along really well. You know, we have the new systems coming in are quite unique actually. You know, they're not something you'd expect to see in any indie game especially. But Yeah, it should be good. It's just hours and hours of motion capture that we've had to implement. It's been taking a while, but finally it's coming in. You'll see some new, if anyone who's watching as a supporter is actually going to notice the fact that the player movement styles are completely unique now, so they're completely fresh, new, one-to-one with the movement of the player's speed. We have different animations based on your speed. If you are walking at lower speed, you're going to sidestep a little bit into like this, like the tactical guy's going to do that. And then if you've got like full speed, you'll end up kind of turning your body sideways like that. So there's a lot of things that we're really, really proud of, and something really keen to show, especially the supporters, once the AI is updated and in.
Nice. I can't wait, man.
Yeah, man. Any other questions?
You guys got any more questions? I got a dev with me right now. Now would be the time. Ask those questions. Would you like me to blur out your face?
When we're talking, I mean, yeah, probably blurring it'd be fine.
I'll blur out your face when.
Yeah, I mean, we were on a live stream, so like my face is known. It's not a big deal. I think at this point it's a little too late.
Okay.
Yeah,
I mean, I can always blur out your face, man. I try to respect you as much as possible.
Cool, man. No worries. Just for the time being.
Somebody's asking the big question. What about Gore?
Gore, all right, Gore. So with this, there's no Gore in this build.
Yeah.
It's something we want to definitely spend a lot of time on, and we advertise some really nice looking Gore, and we'll definitely get around to that. But we had some bigger stuff in the pipeline, more like higher priority stuff that we've been working on, and Gore will definitely come later on. We've got some interesting systems with the single player and cooperative that factor in the Gore into the actual gameplay, which hopefully does actually affect the way that people play the game. And you know, if you're running a shotgun with buck, or you know, some sort of really large round of like an M14, and you start popping heads, hopefully it's going to end up affecting the actual playthrough. You know, how AI perceives you in the middle of the match and things like that.
Okay, cool. What about weapons and attachments?
So with the game right now, we've got a fair few weapons and attachments based on the over barrel, under barrel. You've got different optics. You've got some different. Well, right now you don't have any magazine types, so we're thinking about different magazine types potentially. Probably not going to make too many adjustments at this time because we want to focus on a lot of other game design aspects. But it'd be nice to have something with a little more depth. You know, change your upper, maybe change your barrel a little bit more. Change what kind of things on the end of it. Right now you can put a suppressor, compensators, flash hiders, but different barrel lengths would be really cool, or heavier barrels or things like that. We've got a couple, but not exactly what we want.
What about new voice actors?
Yeah, that's being worked on. It really just depends on, because the game design, we've got to make sure it's running like it's perfect and people are enjoying the game design before we go ahead and start adding all the voices we need. Otherwise you're going to go back, right? You record a bunch of voices, you go back, and you got to record some more, and it actually ends up just being a huge time sink. So it's better to make sure it's all the game design is solid, finished, and then we go in and record a bunch.
Yeah, that's always like my thing. It's like, it's obviously you want the game to work first, and then you go and you do all the sound animation.
Absolutely. I'll answer a couple more questions though. Yeah.
How about campaign length? How long do you think it's going to be?
We're hoping for about 6 to 8 hours.
6 to 8 hours? Okay.
And hopefully you can, well, the idea is you'll be able to replay it as well. So, we definitely want to push a lot of player, replayability for the levels and the modes, especially if you're really, really good, the idea is having a permadeath mode. I mentioned that in the stream a couple of years ago, but yeah, a permadeath mode would be really neat. So you got to make sure you play through it consistently. Don't get killed. If your teammates get killed, then you get knocked out.
What's your favorite color?
My favorite color? Definitely red.
Hey,
got a
that's
red
my
line
favorite.
going through it. Yeah, good, man.
That's my favorite color.
Yeah, I'll answer one more. Yeah.
Let's see. How does the weapon customization work?
So right now it's you pick a weapon and then you'll be able to actually just customize it freely based on whatever we give the player. Right now it's based on points. So for example, a 2011 is going to have 6 or 7 points in it. Suppressor is going to cost about 5 points, and an optic will cost about 3. So you kind of have to balance it a little bit. We're not entirely happy with it, but we're hoping to get it early access in June 2020 and then full release in the year. And the only way to do that is to make sure that we kind of get what we want in, and then potentially look at not finishing it, but improving on it later on. Otherwise, it'll take forever. Game dev is really back and forth, so it takes a while.
Yeah, I can see that. I've talked with a lot of devs, so they always tell me how hard and straining it is, especially when things don't work.
Yeah. We're lucky to have a really, really talented programming team, and thankfully a lot of our supporters are very diligent. Like, they'll go through and point out things, so we're always reading feedback and things like that. Regardless if it's positive, negative feedback, it's always helpful to us, So, yeah. Yeah, cool. We've had a couple people come through and like do like pistols only or shotguns only. It's been good. Yeah.
Is this the only map that you have featured?
Yeah, just for this, we've just been showing off the trading map. It's the only mode as well.
Oh, okay.
So.
Yeah, I played this one a lot in the alpha. I really like this, but on the block map.
Block, yeah, everyone loves block.
I
so you're
love
a supporter,
that.
right? Okay, cool,
Yeah,
man. Cool.
Big support.
Oh, thank you for supporting the game then, of course.
Yeah, no
appreciate
problem.
That, man. Like, you know, everyone.
I was literally in the area. I was like, oh, they're having an event. What?
Yeah, sweet, man. You got to show up.
We agreed on their shot.
Hey, no, go shotgun. Yeah.
No, he said we agreed.
Oh, no shotguns. MPX. But yeah. So what we're talking about?
So this one says, how do traps work? Do you even have traps?
For PvP, we don't have any traps. That's just cooperative. Yeah, traps work as you'd expect. You know, you walk through a threshold of a door, or you stand on something, and then it creates a reaction. So yeah, pretty much expected.
Yeah.
For this, yeah, we haven't really experimented with traps. I think a lot of the combat's so moving, like it moves so quickly through. Like you don't necessarily want to keep accidentally stepping on mines and stuff. I don't think it's necessarily such a great idea for this mode, at least. So it really depends on what we do in the future.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I played a lot of SWAT 4, and it just really seems odd to me that I see traps. It's like, oh, new. Yeah. It's like, like the only time that I've ever seen something like that was like back in like.
How do you swap firemen?
X.
Was back in like what is it? You ever played Shell Shock, like PS2?
Shell Shock?
Yeah, it's like a really old game. And you'd have to like look at like the tiniest of lines just to try and cut the wires so you don't get killed by traps.
Yeah, you have to scrutinize.
Yeah,
I mean, we're definitely going to have traps in the cooperative mode if it works out. So with the current design, it seems to be going quite well. But yeah, for multiplayer, we probably won't. But you know, it's always open to change, and this is releasing obviously user support, so you know, this is releasing with mod support and things. So hopefully, players will definitely utilize that and really play around with modes. Like I don't know, I started off with mods. A lot of us started off with modding before we even started making games or getting into them. And yeah, anything that helps kind of keep the community growing is fantastic. I know SWAT, for example, has been doing a lot of that stuff with modding. Like they've been getting, I think it was an Alien mod recently or something like that.
Yeah, Alien and also what was it? Star Wars.
Oh, really? That's sick.
Yeah, they had the Clone Wars.
Yeah, so it'll be good. I mean, we're really excited to get this in supporters' hands, man. Really excited. You know, they've been really patient with us. I mean, we put a lot of maps out. I know they're only blockouts, but it really helps us because before we even start getting to a stage where we want to be texturing things and polishing them, we want to make sure that they run or at least play really well. You know, they're not too confusing. Our latest update, we pushed a hotel and Valley, which are two maps that they're quite large. They're really large maps, right?
Yeah, you have some pretty big maps.
Yeah.
I got to be honest.
Yeah.
Like bigger than I thought they were going to be.
Oh, for sure, man. Yeah, it's a trip. It's good though.
Yeah. Somebody was saying, how is the audio localization for guns coming along?
Like what? The what for guns?
The localization.
What do I mean by that?
Are they going to be punchier, sound?
Oh, right, yeah.
Like beefy guns.
Yeah, I mean, I think with this one lately, we've been working on some interior and exterior sound of like kind of layers to it. So if you're inside, it kind of sounds different sized rooms and things like that, just kind of boosting the quality of the sounds. We've had a lot of feedback from here today and the last couple of days, people saying that it's really good. They've really enjoyed the sound effects. And our design team, you know, we're always trying to change things up and make sure that people are enjoying it. It really depends. Sometimes you can't please everyone, unfortunately. Sometimes, but yeah, we're always looking to change and improve things. So it really just depends. Right now, a lot of the focus on sound is just layers to it. So again, like outside, if you're in like a hallway, if you're indoors somewhere, or if you're in a bathroom, having some slight variations to your guns just to kind of modify it. Very important for us. Just trying to make sure the sounds are all good.
What about cutscenes?
Cutscenes for single player?
Just all around. Because I've seen some like already like cutscenes in the game itself, but they're not like big or anything like that. No. Is there going to be any bigger ones than that, or is that it?
Probably not. We're not a huge team. You know, we're about 25 guys. So having while we're focusing on cutscenes, would probably be a big time sink for us. That being said, though, yeah, the single player will have a couple of cutscenes in it, and the PvP game modes will eventually, just like the cooperative, you'll be able to get in from, like, you know, you'll start in the Bearcat, or you're the MLO, the MLO guys, so you're going to start in a like a van, you know, and that'll be kind of the intro, kind of like what COD does with like the helicopter extracts and stuff, infills.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, towards the end of the game, we already have some cutscenes. When people win, they end up actually, you know, they have that little like MVP thing, and then they have like kind of the roster who's used to play.
What are you doing, ladies?
Oh, you got to bind it. It's yeah, don't
It's
worry
C,
about
I
it right
think.
now.
C?
No, it's in your options.
Oh, somebody gave me $25 just to say, is the school mission coming?
Not for supporters. We're going to wait till full release for that one because it's quite a
It's a touchy subject.
no, well, not that necessarily. We're not averse to touchy subjects. It's more about the fact that we don't want to ruin the story by giving you the school one. The school one's pretty important for the campaign, and I think if we gave it early, it might be a bit. It might be, you know, overshooting it a little bit. So we were really excited to show off the school mission.
Oh, really? Oh, man. I'm just getting excited. How many missions do you think they're going to be?
I've mentioned this actually before a couple times. Probably about 11 missions.
About
12
11
if you include their headquarters. It's like a hub you go back to.
And are they gonna? And are those missions gonna be like reused for like the multiplayer? Like, are you gonna like change them up in a certain way so that, you know, it's kind of like SWAT 4 basically?
Yeah, we're hoping so. We're hoping to be able to have at least 6 or 7 PvP maps that we can utilize, like kind of show off. This will be one of them, so I guess we've only got, you know, 5 or 6 to go, and they'll be not necessarily reusing single player maps. I think that's usually just that's a route for bad design. I think if you just reuse your maps, or we're hoping to have like a nice flavor, and we'll base them off the maps. I think, for example, one of the maps in our supporter edition is called Dry Dock, which is like kind of similar to Port, uses a lot of the same assets, uses a lot of the same visual style. So there will be maps based on single player missions. If anything, in the interest of time, and also because I think we can do a lot with some of them. For example, like the meth map, you can do a lot with that, I think, for PvP.
Good map.
But we don't want to necessarily like just reuse a level.
Yeah.
If we can help it, you know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's as long as it actually looks different and, you know, plays different, I think a lot of people are going to be okay with that. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, fair enough.
What about character customization? How far are you willing to go? Because I know there is a FBI HRT. I have that.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
Thank you.
But how far are you willing to go?
Well, I think we're going to stick what we've got right now for this version, like for Ready or Not, I guess Ready or Not 1, or without the expansions. We're going to be probably keeping it with the customizing your character through the vests. Maybe we'll end up doing, like, you know, you can pick your clothing, you can pick your vest, and you can pick your helmet color, texture, and maybe some different models. So the FBI guy, you could go in with like SWAT body but an FBI helmet. Potentially we could look at doing that. We've kind of talked about it a little bit, but yeah, for the most part, probably similar to what you've already got. We don't want to change it up too much and add too much variety, because it ends up being too much to balance as well, and that does actually become a bit of a detriment. Already we've got a lot of stuff. I think it's quite happy. It's balanced quite well. Everyone who's been playing, it's been really interesting seeing like a guy. The guy on the big screen right now, he's got a gas mask on, and we've had a couple of guys who've just gone all CS. They've gassed out the top 2 floors. And they'll win for a little bit, and then these guys will come back with gas masks, and they'll start, you know, getting some gaining some traction, getting some wins, and then this team will like kind of improvise, grab flashbangs and stuff, you know, and then it kind of creates this evolving gameplay loop, which it's quite exciting to us. I think it's just very exciting to play. We've had a really good time with it lately. You should definitely jump on and have a shot a bit.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for your time.
No worries, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, what channel are you?
DreamHack.
Okay, DreamHack. Cool. Yeah.
It's a fun game.
I got red.
All right. So that was Anaheim. Pretty neat, gotta be honest. I saw a bunch of games and a lot more than I thought I needed to. I think the Fortnite one was the biggest one. Ready or Not booth was like very tiny. You know, with the indie budget that they have, I was honestly expecting that. But you know, what I got to play was actually pretty good. I'll definitely edit this back in post. And yeah, you know, see you then.